As a loss survivor himself, Philip understands firsthand the impact of suicide on families and communities and the impact of providing comfort, and he brings this perspective to his work promoting suicide prevention and mental wellness. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Philip Tyler.
I want to begin by asking a simple question. By a show of hands, how many in attendance have a Ph.D.? Okay, a Ph.D. Thank you. So at the conclusion of our time together today, you will all possess a Ph.D. More on that later, but thank you for participating. It is said that handwritten notes are both treasured and saved and have a significant impact. 5 years ago today, my family and I received a handwritten note that greatly impacted our lives. This handwritten note, only 4 sentences in length, still has impact and sends chills 5 years later. With its brightly colored words and ending with a hand-drawn heart and loving XOXO, this handwritten note breaks my heart to read. As instructed by the author, the handwritten notes ask us to smile, remain strong, and continue to be those that the author admires, looked up to, and would hope to someday emulate. I sometimes feel survivor's guilt for having to read over and over again when others I know don't. But it's often hard to manage a smile, and it's hard to often be strong. I realize now that I have to be weak. More on that later. I don't want to be admired or emulated by the author. I just want to be able to get through this grief. The author of this handwritten note was my 22-year-old son, Devin. And as you might have surmised, this was a suicide note from Devin. Devin wrote that note 5 years ago. And he was right. I would ultimately forgive him. I prayed and I realized that his suicide, as he wrote, was his choice. I lost Devin that day, but I still have his words, his handwritten notes. It's a letter from his heart that continues to touch mine and helps me to heal. This handwritten note, as I alluded to, is treasured and saved and continues to have impact. The handwritten note touches my heart even while breaking it. The handwritten note brings me closer to my son, although he is far away and will never return. But this handwritten note matters, and so did Devin. I will never see Devin again, but his words, his handwritten words, are treasured. And they let me know each time that I tearfully reread them that I matter to him, even on his final day. This is the power of a handwritten note. In my case, a suicide note, but in your case, it doesn't have to be. And my prayer is that it never is. My prayer is that it's simply a handwritten note that expresses your appreciation, your care, your love for a loved one, that other care. And I share this story in hopes that you will write a handwritten note to a loved one to let them know that you care about them and they matter. And let your handwritten note touch someone's heart, not break it. Let your handwritten note bring you closer to the recipient. Let your handwritten note be written now and express your love and concern now. Let it be a vehicle for deeper conversation and connection, because they do make a difference. You make a difference. You matter. And the recipient or recipients of your note, they matter. I encourage you to show that other care, your appreciation for the ones you love. And when I speak of other care, I mean of putting the needs and concerns for yourself secondary to others. And this can be a healing process. You see, because when we, through words or actions, show care for others, we receive some care and reduce our stress. Now, this is due to a biological effect. That's the release of oxytocin in our bodies. But I'm not here to discuss biology. That's my wife's major. I'm here to discuss comfort. And providing comfort is comforting. And I know this because I've experienced it through the comforting note, through the comforting actions of others, Jen, Leslie, and the comfort I provided to many families after their loss. You see, because I was helping them heal through their hurt, even while I was hurting. And it helped to heal me. You see, too often as loss survivors, we think to ourselves, our story can't possibly be of care to others. We think that the sharing of our loss will only simply seek and look for empathy. And it won't help another person that is hurting. But I want to share with you just one story that has happened to me that will show the example of how other care helps. You see, a friend of mine that I've known for about 6 years, her and I recently had a cup of coffee. And she opened up to me about her bouts of suicidal ideation. And it culminated in her standing on the edge of the bridge thinking about her own demise. And she told me why she paused and did not follow through with the sharing of my story with her and my comforting others in their loss. She told me that my willingness to comfort others inspired her to stay. And she is still here today. And she is now speaking at suicide prevention events about her experience as a working mother, hiding the stigma until she was confronted and comforted by the kindness of others. And as I wiped the tears from my eyes in that crowded coffee shop, I realized that my sharing of my story was helping others heal. And hearing their stories was helping me heal. You see, so when you focus outward, you come out of that darkness that we create by only thinking about ourselves. And when I sat in that coffee shop, listening to the story, I cried. I wept. This grown man, this former military veteran, this member of the sheriff's department, I cried. Look, my friends, I'm 55 years old. I can bench over 300 pounds. I can squat over 400 pounds. I can deadlift over 500 pounds. But I wasn't strong enough to save my own son. And you know why? Because physical strength has nothing to do with being strong. True strength is about being mentally strong and emotionally strong. For years, I had quoted being weak with a lack of strength, but no more. And for my English majors in the crowd and those that might be listening, I viewed it as an adjective when as a parent, a father, a partner, a friend, a father, I should have viewed it as an acronym. WEAK, W-E-A-K, willing to express adult kindness. It's okay to be kind. It's okay to show emotion. It's okay to cry. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to give comfort to others. It's okay to be weak. And if I get emotional today, which I probably will, it's because I am weak, willing to express adult kindness. And I'm willing to be vulnerable enough in front of you to show you and others that I have emotions. And it's comforting to know that you know this. This is a sign of true strength. And it's liberating and it's empowering. You see, for survivors like myself, comfort is not about being comfortable. It's about doing something. It is about actions. Being willing to express adult kindness is about emotions in action. It is showing up, being present, writing a note, sending a text, taking a walk, making a meal, helping with errands. Whatever your action is, it can provide comfort. We may not always know what to do, but doing something provides comfort to those that are feeling alone. Not taking action because the chance of making a misstep or a mistake will surely leave comfort for chance. Don't take that chance. Take the chance. Take the step. Comfort is love in action. And when I share this part of my speech, I often get that look. And I get questions. They ask, want to be hard, Phil? Yes. Will I on occasion say the wrong thing, Phil? Yes. Will I feel some discomfort, Phil? Yes. So isn't it better to play it safe and don't say anything at all, Phil? No. You see, you will make a difference in others' lives if you try. If you do something. If you take action. See, you don't need any special skills to comfort. You don't need any special training outside of inspiring comfort. You don't need any special education to comfort, with the exception of this. Remember I talked about in the beginning that Ph.D.? No, not the kind that's given out in academia, in college. This Ph.D., or passion to have dialogue, yes, we must talk to one another and listen to one another if we're going to have a dialogue, if you want to comfort. We have to be willing to reach out to one another if we want to comfort. My hope, my friends, is this. When you leave this session, you will all possess a Ph.D. And you will understand how powerful it is in comforting others when they're going through a loss. Those that were willing to do it for me have been invaluable. It's been invaluable in their healing and in mine when I've done it for others. So you see, this is not about a talk about how strong or amazing I am by sharing my story, but it's about how you can become amazing in your comforting, your empathy, your weakness through this experience today and through the power of a handwritten note. And if you want to help others through their grief, if you want to be of comfort to others in their grief journey, I want you to raise your hand. Raise your hand high above your head. Any hand. Yes. Now extend that hand. Keep it up. Extend that hand forward, palms facing up. You see how easy it is to reach out, my friends? And look around you. Look how many other caring people are willing to reach out. Now keep the hand extended. Now when you leave this talk with your Ph.D., I want you to reach out to someone. Because we all know someone who's going through something, who is hurting, who needs comforting. Reach out to someone. Now, with your other hand, bring that hand forward too, palm facing up, and give yourself a hand. Because you just graduated with your Ph.D. Thank you.